Wow. So, this is what it's like to get home at jump me o'clock when everybody is out asking us for money.
Oh yeah,
But he's not a beggar.
he wasn't a beggar. He pointed out that he wasn't begging, but he was very clear that he wanted 20 quid, 20 pounds. And when I pointed out that we didn't have money, he even illustrated us. Oh, there's an ATM right here.
Look, and I think and what's funny is that, of course, the first time you were confused about whether or not somebody took a card or cash, they were offended when you said, do you take card?
Yeah, yesterday it was our first day outside of the apartment, uh, here in Creighton, South London, and I wanted to basically get a haircut, and I went inside a salon, uh, a good man, the good man salon,
Yes, the good
and
men.
and I thought I'm a good man. I'm a good man.
Yeah.
So I went there and I asked the guy. They were probably from India or Pakistan or I don't know.
It was Pakistan because when I went in there to get my haircut, we talked about how we were both used to real heat.
Oh, so they were Pakistani. I don't know if they were born in. I don't know. I don't think they were born in here because of their
Yeah,
accent.
no.
But I I didn't know. I asked the guy. I didn't want to be in the uncomfortable position of not being able to pay after having received the service. So I wanted to make that clear. How much am I gonna pay, and can I pay with card? And he said that he kind of got taken aback by my question, and he said that yeah, we take card. I have an iPhone 14. Uh, and he looked at his body and they laughed like,
Well, and it makes more sense when you think about the fact that we just got here from Mexico, and
yeah,
in Mexico, everybody does not take card. We've been in
yeah,
situations where we would not be able to get groceries
yeah,
if we had
yeah.
to
In
use it.
Guadalajara, when we went to the market,
Yeah.
only a couple of booths in the mercado uh, accepted card, and so yeah, I didn't want to say something offensive, and I ended up saying something offensive.
Well, we are so careful. Well, no, and I think the best thing that I like about this neighborhood is the fact that we are not interesting. I
Yeah,
guess kind of our accents stick out, but that's about it.
I've noticed that we were the only ones wearing sunglasses.
Yes, yes. And I think that's because, based on our experience in Texas, we just have way too much experience with getting headaches
Yeah,
after forgetting sunglasses that we're just like, nope, we're not even
yeah,
making this an issue.
and not only sunglasses, but like athletic sunglasses, like Oakley sunglasses. I feel I am I am Mexican, but I felt American with my Oakley sunglasses, and you with your Oakley sunglasses,
No,
and
mine were Tifosi, sir. They were my cycling sunglasses.
oh,
Yes, they're my swanky cycling sunglasses. But but the cyclists in that peloton that we saw right outside the zoo, now they were wearing sunglasses.
oh yeah, wow, that was impressive. I was impressed. I've never seen so many high-end bicycles with so many athletic cyclists. Even one of them was even carrying a high-end camera, like a with a huge lens on his back, and I was like, "Are you riding or are you photographing?"
Look, and it was just like, again, and this was on a Thursday. to me, that's what's weird, right?
Yeah.
Because even if you work 410s, like I've worked before, I'm like, well, usually you go home and you deal with the fact that you just did 410s, but they were riding in a group and not slowly either, of course, obeying traffic laws, but they were very serious about they're very serious about riding in their Peloton, and they all had sunglasses, and I was like, exactly,
Yeah.
like adults, so that you can make sure you can see.
Now, it's important to point out that we didn't see those cyclists here at this neighborhood. We saw them at Camden.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't know. I heard about Camden Town before, but I didn't know it was such
So
a swanky,
so posh,
so posh.
so fifi.
Yeah, so fifi, like we say in Mexico.
Look, and I've heard of Camden, Massachusetts, and of course, because in New England they use a lot of the same names.
Yeah.
Just
Such as the New Spain in la Nueva España.
oh, that's right. Wait,
They
Yep.
also put name the cities after some other cities or towns in Spain.
right.
Same thing.
That
Same
does-
colonial pattern.
Thank goodness. I would be worried if imperialism didn't show up. But no, and so so we went for our first so we went to our first sites here in London, and it was just and it was so bizarre. I was like, who is coming to the zoo? Because it's like the entrance was hidden and way down like it was about 1.5 miles from the Camden tube station.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, well, if it's noon in the middle of a Saturday, I would give up at this point right now. And it's not even because I'm in particularly bad shape, although I'm not in great shape. But I was like, man, this feels far away. And the other thing is about highly residential neighborhoods is that they feel far away. Like everything about them is just like it feels far because there aren't like, you know how in a lot of kind of middle class and working class neighborhoods, there's stores on the bottom and there's storage or residential stuff on the top. It doesn't feel, if you go by 5 stores, you don't feel like everything is forever. But when you go through residential areas, like it just feels like you're being punished for being outside of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I always felt uncomfortable with that kind of like voyeuristic tourist attractions. Like for example in California, like Beverly Hills, like
Yes.
the
Come see how the rich live.
yeah, it's like
I don't want to watch them live.
yeah,
Am I going to watch them have gas and sleep poorly? Like, what's happening?
I felt a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And it's very aspirational. And coming from Mexico, a country where with a very everyday the middle class gets narrow and narrow, and this middle class always aims aspires to
Greatness.
that life, and it's like, oh my god, like do you know that these people don't want you here? They see you as scumbags, as beggars.
No, they really do, because they're just like, yes, well, if you had worked hard enough, and it's like, everybody knows that it's not about hard work. Everybody knows that, it's just like, your dad is the third of a generation of billionaires, and that's how you got your money. But people are still telling themselves, hey, if I just work hard enough, then I'll get to live here. And it was interesting that the Brazilian Uber driver, who'd been here for 25 years, was saying, yeah, you have to be a celebrity to live around here. Because even if it's a 2 bedroom, 1.5 bathroom house, they want you to give $10 million for them. And the
Yeah, he sorry, but
yeah, no,
I just wanted to point out that he said that it's not enough to be rich here. It's not enough to have the money and pay for the property with the money up front. That's not enough. They have to agree. They have to let you be their neighbor, and if you're not from very like from a old money uh, background, they probably won't let you live in their neighborhood.
or they'll make it very uncomfortable for you to do so.
Yeah.
Because that happened one time when my family first moved into a neighborhood in Austin, where yeah, we were quote unquote allowed to live there, but they're spraying KKK on the sidewalk my sister and I have to walk home from. We're dealing with people sniffling their nose. Oh no, my sister actually had to transfer to a different elementary school because teachers we had it's the same grade as I had when we lived in Briker Woods. When you're in the fourth grade and you can't play dumb anymore, or if you play dumb, nobody believes you. Then people start attacking you and they try to make you a discipline problem and they try and do all that sort of thing. But it's like, well, because the message is you don't belong here, we do. And to have that around a zoo, I mean, we met so many people from so many different countries, 2 more from the United States, and they were happy to be here. And they were just like, but it's like it's an international site. And since it's an international site, I was so surprised that there was so much, like, for all intents and purposes, it was a gated community around the zoo. And I was like, well, I don't want to go back to the zoo. Who would?
Yeah. Why will we? Where will we want to go back to an area where we don't feel welcome? An area where we feel excluded, like that word exclusivity.
Yeah. Right.
Exclusivity. Oh, that's
Nobody
exclusive.
Can come.
Yeah, but exclusive comes from exclusion.
Right.
And why will anybody want to be excluded, to feel excluded?
Right.
So going to those kind of places just to see how the rich people live, I feel there's
right.
something so...
It's bizarre, almost. Yeah. Because people think, oh, well, I need a role model. It's like, if you want a role model, I mean, there are universities full of big libraries that have plenty of examples for you to look up to. The idea of looking up to people who don't like you.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it is. They don't like you.
Yeah.
And they don't want you there. And they want you to understand that. And if you don't understand that, they want to educate you further on how much they don't want you. And if you continue to try and force your presence on them, they're going to make you uncomfortable for doing it. It's like, no, I don't. I'm kind of over that. Yeah. But no, but at least we got to see all the sights within the zoo. That was actually cool. That was worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
we should we should. What happens normally when you are not allowed to be in a club, then probably we should form our own club
Yeah.
and exclude those people.
That's
But
generally what happens.
yeah, that's pretty much how clubs pop up.
But no, I one of the one of the sites that, and I'm really happy that um, quote unquote great architects designed housing projects,
Yeah.
because I was really pleased to actually go through a quote unquote project that looked nothing like it. There were great gardens, great light, wonderful pedestrian pathway. Like I was like, I'm mad I can't live here
Yeah.
because of this, and that's not even the only one that we have.
When we were looking for a place to stay here, I
Mm-hmm.
looked at Airbnbs or whatever in that.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, but I didn't find any.
Well, not only that, but between the house sitting and the Airbnbs, everybody had issues, quote unquote, we both say with raised eyebrows, in renting to us, even though it's the fall and fall is not the high season. And there are other places that are trying to give us discounts saying, hey, we'd like to make some money. I
Hmm.
know it's cold and it's dark and it's
Mm-hmm.
about to be wet, but could you come visit us? Are you sure? Yeah, yeah, we'd really like a visitor. but but no, I like, and ironically, when I was there and I was taking a picture of this beautiful walkway, and because we were there at sunset,
Yeah.
because we were there at sunset, she was like, "What are you taking a picture of?" I said, "Because I worked with housing projects in the United States." That was kind of true, but it's more the I worked with community engagement, and I dealt with all kinds of people um, in Austin. But she was like, "There's nothing interesting about this," and whatever. But then she saw that I was just like, I'm just here minding my business, and she just went on, and man, you got some good shots.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Yeah.
some really good
I can't
shots.
wait to look at them. And so this is it for day one. Let's see tomorrow what happens.
Oh, well, wait a minute. You didn't want to tell them about the reason why we got back so late?
Oh yeah, well the train got somebody apparently was hit by the train, but I wonder, uh, was that an accident? Because I remember one time when I first moved to Mexico City a few years ago, I had to be I had to show at my new job on a Monday, and I was very nervous, and I wanted to make sure that I was going to be there on time. So I did that route on the metro uh, on Sunday, so that on Monday I will know how long did it take to get there, etc. Uh, it was long before Google Maps and Google Earth, and I did that, and on the Monday when I went there, I got late to my job, my new job on my first day, because the train was late because somebody jumped on the train and
Intentionally.
intentionally. Yeah,
And,
somebody committed suicide, and somebody told me that it's not an uncommon thing to happen in Mexico City. So that's why I told you that when that when that announcement was made, I wondered, was that really an accident?
no, and really having to talk to the conductor about it, and he was like, "Yeah, actually, it's going to delay it for the rest of the night." Well, that's why we got back so late
Yeah.
and dealt with more panhandlers. Because I mean, obviously, it's London and the boroughs of London, so different people. But basically, having to go out of your way. Fortunately, there are enough ways to get home, but that was intense.
Yeah.
So at least we got to ride all the transit today. Um,
Even the
yeah,
electrical train. The
yeah, even the bus rapid transit.
Yeah.
So it was like we were Mexico again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out tomorrow
Yeah.
because that's the way we do things.
Yeah.
And y'all have a good evening.